Hey, it's day 367. We had an election in November, and man, I just don't know what to tell you. Things went kind of haywire. We had a lot of stuff going on, a lot of civil disorder, and the current president wanted to ban guns, and kind of sided with the UN Peace Treaty or Small Arms Treaty, and you hear a couple of cars going by. Those are far and few in between anymore. Most people don't have any gas, and those folks that have gas have used it all up. Some of these folks have ethanol stills that they're making their own fuel with, and they just happen to have a flex fuel vehicle. We have our own version of flex fuel vehicles, Hustler and Aussie. And last night we had some service personnel come out. And service some of our equipment out here, and they just happened to see some of our food supplies that we had left. And man, that's the fourth car. Things might be getting better, but for now we depend on these folks, these two, to get us where we need to go if we have to go into town. My big fancy Denali, it's got a 26-gallon tank, and it's empty. My 4-cylinder car is empty. My SUV is empty, or my other truck is empty. My boat's empty. We pulled all the gas out of those first off, foremost. And the wife's mini SUV is empty. Hey, the reason I'm doing this video tonight is you see me all camoed up and I'm getting ready. We have 28 people here, and in that 28 people, we had a penetration on our perimeter last night, and along that ridge line up there was one of our perimeter defense systems went off. One of our unmanned perimeter defense systems went off, and I think you've seen those on another video. By the way, the grid is down for basic all intensive purposes. There is no phone service, there's no cell phone service, there's no electricity. Those folks who have gas usually have used it up in their generator. We had 200 gallons stored back, and about 100 gallons of kerosene for a backup kerosene heater. That's all gone too. We've resorted to cutting wood on our farm, more wood from our pasture. Obviously that's a finite supply too, so we're now rationing wood. So tonight, after working all day around the farm, I've got to go on security duty. We're going to put down an L-shaped ambush for what might be a larger body coming to take what we have. And we got the weapons. We're getting loaded for bear here. I can tell you 13 months out, the BioLite stove is probably my personal salvation. I've managed to charge my cell phone on more than, you can only use your car battery so much if you can't start the car and get it regenerated. So what we're doing is we're charging our cell phone batteries. And you say, well, what do you need a cell phone for? It doesn't work, right? Well, one of the important things in a situation like this, when the grid is down and things are kind of chaotic, one of the biggest things that people lose control of, and that is time. So your cell phone, let me dig it out here. has an electronic calendar on it. You know, watch batteries go down, but your cell phone has an electronic calendar that'll go out 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or even 10 years. So just to keep track of something as simple as the days, the day of worship, the day of the week, you have to depend on your electronic cell phone, praying that nobody drops an EMP on you. You know, and if you're smart, you'll take your cell phone and transfer that data from your electronic calendar into a written calendar. It's crazy. We never ever thought we'd have to do that. That's just one of the little things that I can tell you. Calendars are in short supply. They hit us at 2012. By the end of 2013, there was no one working enough to run printing presses to print calendars. Just something to think about. I'm wearing my second pair of boots in 2 years, or a year. I'm sorry, in 1 year. I'm resorting to my hiking boots, my very expensive Italian leather hiking boots, because my combat boots that I normally wear are ground to the soles, and there's no shoe repair people. I've gone through half of a pair of work boots by Red Wing, and I still have one other pair of boots from Red Wing left. After that, I guess I'm going to be trampling around in the snow in tennis shoes and street shoes. That's another thing. Always have a generous supply of boots, weatherproof boots. So, you know, we're getting dressed here tonight. Like I say, my neighbor, even though he's a couple of 100 yards away, he's fairly nosy. So, just follow along. And, you know, we spent all day redoing our perimeter. We moved the blank 12 gauge shells that are in our unmanned perimeter defense. We moved those a little farther out so they'll hit them sooner. They're expecting them now, so we've lost the element of surprise. So what we've done is we've gone through a 3-layer defense system. The first system is 12 gauge blanks. The second are the dragon's breath that sends up a big shower of sparks and a report. The third are lethal 12 gauge rounds. We put double-aught buck in them, and we know where they are, so we don't even let our kids near that area. We force our kids. That's the other thing. Our poor kids have lost their freedom. You know, when we were kids, we'd run all around, and in the hills of West Virginia, we'd be gone all day just playing in the nature. And I have to force my kids to play where I can see them, not in the front yard, but in the pasture of a field. It's crazy. It's just crazy what the world's come to. You know, this thing that happened, this event, was very close to a civil war. And it got to the point where, you know, it just got to the point where there were some racial overtones, and there were some people that, thank God, they provided cooler heads, because it could have gone very bad very quickly. As it is, our power grid is down, our infrastructure has just gone to crap. We've been using a bucket filter. Thank God I bought extra filters, monolithic filters, and we're on a well. So I run my generator about 1 hour a day, and in that 1 hour we have a priority of things that we can run. So tonight my priority is keeping security on our perimeter. We've got a lot of things going on, and the biggest one I can tell you is protecting the 28 people that reside in my compound. Thankfully, Prepper RN and I, we had plenty of supplies, food, water, a way to reproduce water. We didn't store any water above little 3/4 gallon jugs of water. We have a pond that's 500 feet down the road and a canal channel that's has free moving water that's another 50 feet. So our priority tonight, us meaning the 6 guys that I have going out, now that we've readjusted our perimeter, is going to simply be to wait for the next IE probe or wait for the next one that probably will involve a lot more guys. I'm carrying 12 mags, and I don't have any pistol mags, but I'm carrying 12 AR mags, and you know, I hope they don't come back, but if they do, they should probably be ready for battle, because we are. And you know, things like this happen, and we all sit around and talk about it as preppers, but I thank God in these last 367 days that we have prepped to the level that we have prepped. I couldn't have done any of this without Prepper RN, and I'm going to try to send out one of these a week. You know, my BioLite stove has to charge other things too, including cell phones, so it's hard to charge the battery on this. But I'm going to try to send out one thing every week, and I hope we can all get through this. I hope to see every one of you guys on the other side. Make no mistake, when they try to take your weapons, and they will, and when they try to take your food, they will. Freedom falls very quickly after that. You guys have a good evening. I'm in for a long one. Probably ought to go sit by the fire. Thanks. This is Gunrunner 7271. Hoping that you stay prepped.